Hello, welcome back everybody to more Lord of the Rings Online. It's a holiday, so I'm going to record some more exciting stuff. So let me talk to Faramir here. We've been helping him out and learning about some history that occurred in these areas 1,000+ years ago. Let's continue. It is time you learned of the greatest insult dealt against me and my family. When my father fell on the hill above, his banner was paraded by the Wainriders and the orcs as the rest of his company fell. Our foes chased them as they fled into the marshes, and for many years I saw naught of my family's heraldry. Not long ago, a man returned to the hill bearing the banner, but it had changed. Age had worn it thin, but what remained was perverted into something between the familiar and the horrid. With the banner unfurled, he called forth the first of the slaves the orcs had captured in Ithilien, and one by one he tortured and beheaded them beneath my father's banner, as the others watched. After all were slain, the bodies were defiled in such terrible ways I cannot speak them. This man dishonors the memory of my father onto her, and twists it to suit his own cruelty. His name is unknown to me, but the orcs know it well, for they avert his eyes in his presence. If you wish to aid me, learn what you can of this man and free the poor men that have fallen into his hands. The slaves and prisoners are drawn by cage wagons to the hills along the rough pathway to the east. Interesting. Let's see where I'm at here. Okay, so let me go this way, I suppose. Having a good time here in the waste. It's kind of desolate, kind of creepy, kind of barren, but I'm enjoying the questing here. It kind of looks like the cage at the very end of that Throne of the Dread Terror raid, if you recall that episode. The cage is stuck already, stupid hobbit. The bloodletter doesn't need to know the slaves revolted on the way. We'll bring you to Faltor Sheik instead. Alright, for cinematic purposes, I will engage in battle with these guys, because I feel like they would otherwise attack me if I was not over leveled. You make a fine sacrifice. I'll eat what's left when Master's finished. Buragoth will find you, hobbits. Alright, let me keep going. Next little wagon here. Probably not going to fight every orc that pops up. Let's see if there's any dialogue, though. Nope. The jailer is just chilling. Which way do I want to go? Let me go this way. Didn't mean to get this pulled up. Looks like there will be soil here. Kind of trying to tackle some different quests at the same time, obviously. Always trying to be efficient. One more here. Alright, excellent. Should I go over here? I think I want to. I'm close by. And by over here, I mean this little circle. Sometimes, you know, I'm looking at it in my head, but obviously you guys can't read my thoughts, so I need to do a better job at distinguishing what I'm doing. What am I looking for here? Sample of water. Oh, there it is. Fetid water. Spelled very British-like. The fetid water is awash with small chunks of slag. Okay, so, yeah, let me head back now. Slag slug. Those remind me of the I don't know what they're called, but the guys from the Rift. You know what I'm talking about, right? The little slug things in the Rift raid where if they reach the portal, they turn into the Void Eaters. Man, that was a long time ago. I guess I missed the first cage on my way here. Man, there's a troll protecting this one. Right, so I think this is the third one here. Stay away, the Bloodletter wants the cages returned to Udun to bring more slaves. Alright, I'll fight a troll. I'll fight a troll. Why not? It's kind of beefy. Try to get some bleeds on him. Then I might have to... Yeah, let me get some healing gambits going. Brugadot, the Bloodletter, has the blood of the true men, not these weak slaves. They fell easily, and now so will you. Alright, there you go. One dead troll. The orcs slaughter them in their cages, like beasts. How horrid. Our foe may be of Númenórean blood, but he is no man. Brudagoth, the Bloodletter. Who would hold such a title willingly? If he is the true master of Ondahur's Folly, the hosts of the West should remain vigilant. You slew so many at Ondahur's Folly, but their numbers do not dwindle, and this Brudagoth seems to hold sway over them all. Minkham learned from orcs and evil men that the enemy wishes us to come to the Black Gate safely, but how can such words be trusted now? Ruse or not, my friend, I believe only one course remains. A man of true Númenórean blood to have survived so long in Mordor. This is unthinkable, Kippen. If he is responsible for the fates of those at Ondahur's Folly, he is also a danger to the host of the West. I'm still not certain what to make of Faramir's claim about Wain Riders, but I would not dismiss them so carelessly. We must send word at once to the rangers at Herondir and ready ourselves for what may come. I have outstayed my welcome in these lands, I think. I have found my mind unsettled and my thoughts drawn to my own death. This is no place for one such as me, Kippen. Twice you have helped me realize my own peril, and I hope I shall not have need of a third opportunity. As much as I desire to spend more time speaking with Faramir of his life, our duties are to the host of the West, and it is my duty to no longer impede them. All we have learned of the foes we now face, it goes beyond my knowledge and beyond my skill. Those we left behind at Herondir, though, they could stand against them. Let us return there and tell them of what we have learned. I shall ride as swiftly as I am able, and I would ask that you do the same. Without your voice, I fear that they shall not heed my warnings. So now I have to return to Herondir. Let me see what this quest is here. So this is the epic. I don't think I want to do that yet. I mean, it's kind of out of the way. Let me go ahead and just return to Herondir with the swift travel. And we'll continue from there. Okay. Minkham and Leglaw look at once relieved and troubled by your return. Where have you been, Kippen? Where are the others? You have returned to us late, Kippen, and I'm afraid that you have much to answer for in the eyes of Captain Amborn. Artemir's errand may have endangered our entire cause, and for what? The chance to speak to a spirit? His foolishness has cost us more than time. You see, we returned to Herondir after you departed and spoke with Amborn of your efforts to rescue Artemir from his delusions. He thought long on the matter and then chose his course. You must understand, my friend, Amborn sent an entire company to find you in Ardamir on the battle plane. You have returned, but we have heard naught from them. You express regret at the effort put forth to ensure your return, but urge Leglot to understand that you have come with grave tidings about foes lurking in Dagorlad, and the coming battle with the Dark Lord at the Black Gate. I see, but Amborn has requested your presence at once upon your return, so I leave those matters to him. You have kept Amborn waiting long enough. If these tidings are as grave as you say, he shall want to hear of them as well. These are repeatables, the daily repeatable. You know what? I'm just gonna do it.
Ethereum is crawling with foes. The Morgul host must be defeated.
Mainly to get that quest ring out of the minimap, because it drives me a little crazy. Ugh, what is that horrid smell? You eagerly hand the phial of slag water to Milgamel. This is hardly water at all. Look, Hippin, it has little bits, something floating all about in it. None of that will do, but let me see the mushrooms and the pouches of soil you gathered. Yes, these are lovely. The soil is thin and unhealthy, but it clings to life. And these mushrooms, I do not know if anything could stop them. Come now, we have to attempt to crossbreed them with the plants of Ithilien. That's right, Kippen, we are going to try to crossbreed these plants of the waste with those of Ithilien. Even if the wastes never recover, we can save their unique plants and grow them within Ithilien if they are of need to us. I have set 3 planting boxes around this chamber, and I would first have you fill half of them with the soil you gathered from the battle plane. I have already filled 1/2 of each from the soil of Ithilien. Next, you should plant my samples of oxlip, vetchling, and horsetail along these hardy mushrooms you discovered. This way, we shall see if they can live alongside one another in each variety of soil. I may still have use for the slag water you brought me, but that can wait. Alright, let's do some horticulture here. What is this quest for? Oh yeah, burn the Hauntreek. I remember collecting those. Unfortunately, I have to dismount to interact with those. Ah, wonderful. Now then, I'll add a splash of this sickly water you brought to one of them, and we can observe the results. Milgamel walks to the central planting box and upends the phial of slag water. There, now let us see what happens. So I gotta wait a minute. In the meantime, let me go around here and burn some of the Hauntreek. The other ones are probably on the higher levels, I would think. But you know what? We're 10 seconds out from this, so let me just wait here. I'll get on my pony. The slag water begins seeping out of the newly formed cracks in the planting box. Ah, perhaps a minute was too long. Look, the slag water has eaten right through the planting box. The others do not appear to have such a reaction, though, and that is heartening. I do not know if the waste can ever be truly healed, but I am certain they cannot while the enemy still looms ahead. Go, rejoin your company. I shall tend to these and see them safely transported away from these lands. If you ever find yourself in Minas Tirith again after this war, I'm certain I shall have much to tell you. Alright, I wonder if that's the end of that quest chain, at least for now. We'll have to see. Alright, let me head on upstairs here. Looks like there's lots of quest-related tasks for me to do. Gibbon, I am glad you have returned to us. Yet I must disagree with the course Ardamir and you have taken. Such reckless actions could have led the enemy to Herondir or endangered the entire host. But they have not, and for that I am grateful. Do not mistake my concern for anger, my friend, but I would urge you and dissuade Ardamir from any other adventures he might think to embark upon. Given the length of your absence, have you returned with any news of our foes? You inform Amborn of the designs of the Black Numenorian, Brudagoth, and the Bloodletter, and warn him against the possible encounter with more hostile fell spirits upon the battle plane. These are grim tidings, and they are made all the worse by the looming battle. I shall do what I can to prepare us for the evils to come to Herondir. As for you, my friend, I have a new task, one with which Artemir shall not be involved.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
As Laidlaw told you, I sent 10 of my rangers to seek you and the Lore Master on the battle plane. They have not returned, and I would have you lead a search for them. They took the road eastward through the Slag Hills, and were to move northward onto the battle plane to search for you and Artemir between the hills. I would suggest you begin your search upon the battle plane itself. Let us hope the enemy's forces have heeded their master's orders and have not brought an ambush upon my men. When you find them, send them back to Herondir by our safest paths. They will know the way. Good to hear that Bloglock and his followers are no longer a threat to the host of the West. Now we can focus on the road ahead.
Will you help bear my burden, friend?
One last chore remains in Herondir before we send you further into the wastes. We have supplies here that would be useful to the camp of the host, but they need to be gathered before we continue the march. There's armor and weapons to be gathered and water skins to be filled. Can I ask you to make a sweep of Herondir and attend to this? I know it is a bit of a menial task for such a skilled warden, but we are woefully short-handed. Alright. Let me close all this out. Virtue cap reach, so let me switch here. It's earning wits. Determination's maxed out. I guess I have to just pick some random ones. Let's do that. Good enough for now. Did not mean to click that. Did not mean to click that either. Man, my mouse aim is horrific today. Alright, let me keep going here. Try to find the other braziers. There's one right there. You know, by the way, by the time you guys are watching this episode, the series is kind of back on. But I do apologize for the delay between the last season and this one. I brought it up way too many times, but of course my move certainly made it difficult and made me fall behind. It was a long move. With the movers getting delayed, I just didn't have access to my computer for a really long time, so clearly I fell behind. And now with my new job, I just don't have as much time as well, so I appreciate your guys' patience, and I'm working as hard as I can to make sure I meet all my real-life obligations, but also spend a good amount of time recording the series for you guys, not only because I want you guys to enjoy it, but also because I enjoy it. I have a lot of fun doing this, clearly. Alright, this is the last one here. Excellent. And now, looks like I'm going back down. Pick up the empty bucket. So I'm wondering if that was meant to be picked up near wherever I got the quest. That's what the phrasing implies there. Really? Broken legs for that? Alright, so here's the empty buckets. And then I need to fill the empty water skins. Guess they'll be all around here. Ah, man. They really want me dismounted for some of these quests here. That's alright.
Will
Talk to
you
this
hear my
one?
plight?
It has been a long march, Kippen. I can speak for only myself, but I am prepared for whatever may come when we reach the Black Gate. If my death awaits, I shall welcome it in service of Gondor and of King Elisar. Even still, it is a weight to bear, and each man here bears it. I have seen much of these last few days that I have never imagined, and I am sure more still awaits beyond my sight. For all of those unknown joys or ills, I have not seen the elves in this company falter even once. Whether they fear me or not as men do, they seem charmed. I wonder what eases them in such times, and I wonder if it might offer some comfort to our company. Would you speak to them, my friend? I believe I owe you an explanation, Kippen. Have you noticed that no orcs lurk in the ruins near Herondir, and that they all do in the other ruins in No Man Land? This is no accident. We have tricked those cowards into thinking that Herondir is haunted. One of the ways we do this is with those blue-colored flames you attended to earlier. Let me show you another way we spook them.
Will you hear my plight?
Another way we keep those orcs out of here is with the use of eerie-sounding instruments. Here's one of them, the Herondir horn. There's few places in Herondir that have excellent acoustics. Go blow the horn in those places, and after that, see if you can find any curious orcs that have strayed too close. Sneak up behind them and blow the horn. Keeping the fear in them keeps us safe. I'll admit it's also a bit of fun, but don't tell Amborn I said that. I guess the other water skins are going to be here on the higher levels. Alright. Yeah, it's a weird horn sound there for sure. Let me keep climbing here, see what else I can find. There is a quest ring right over here. Good old
Your
Legolas.
ranger friend is perhaps too eager to think such things of the elves.
What is it, my friend? You tell Legolas of Echo's sense of wonder about elves at Herondir, and how he wishes that he and other men might be so at ease as well. Legolas chuckles to himself, and Gimli scoffs quietly beside him. Your ranger friend is perhaps too eager to think such things of elves, isn't he, Gimli? It is not a lack of fear that drives me forth, but a sense of duty to Aragorn and to our kin in the host. You and I have shared this long journey together, and fear has not yet broken us, even if it has lingered at every step of our adventures. These men are the bravest of this age, and I would not see them falter now. Victory can be won over the enemy, and none would know the better than the sons of Elrond. Why don't you speak to them, Kippen? I wonder what they would make of Echo's talk of fearless elves. Classic reference to that scene from Peter Jackson's Two Towers scene, where Legolas asks Gimli if he would like him to describe the battle scene or find him a box. I appreciate the little detail there, for sure. Speaking of which, man, I need to watch the trilogy again. It's been embarrassingly too long for a fan such as I. Very weird sound indeed there. What troubles you, Kippen? You tell Eladon and Elrohir of Echo's hope that the elves in the host of the west are without fear. Eladon stifles a laugh, but Elrohir is unable to hold back. Before Eladon is able to speak, Elrohir quickly interjects. I am sorry, my friend. Were that the truth, he would be the first to know. These men should not think so little of themselves. Eladon gestures to Elrohir to be silent and begins to speak. No, there is no hidden bravery within us, my friend. Perhaps we benefit from the knowledge of the past, but in matters of the enemy, fear is ever present. The Ring-Bearer's quest is unlike any errand in the time of our father and the alliance of men and elves. You say these men are fearful, but still they march forth knowing their doom. That is the truest bravery, and they must be made to see it. Kippen and my father's tales can do so much to inspire hope and awe. Elrohir and I have heard them many times, and they are known to us now perhaps even more clearly than to our fathers after these long years. His tales are full of both glory and despair, but certain moments carry with them no sadness, even in the face of loss. He told us many tales of the battle during the last alliance, and while no moment can match the joyous defeat of the enemy at the end of the Second Age, there are others that might inspire those in times such as these. My mind is drawn to my father's tale at the Battle of Dagorlad. It was a great and terrible battle that raged for many long years, and even after victory was won, many more passed before the ring was cut from the Dark Lord's finger. Even still, it was a victory that marked a turning point in what many seemed a hopeless war against Sauron. Men, dwarves, and elves, and even the High Elves stood fast against the enemy's forces, and though many were lost in the fighting, they pushed forth and threw down the Black Gate. It is a tale of victory against great odds, and it seems we march to a battle that shall be much the same. Brother, can you think of a greater tale to tell these men? Elrohir shakes his head and seems pleased with Eladon's choice. Gather the men of Haerondir, my friend, and let them hear of glory from us. So it's kind of like I was saying a few episodes ago about bravery, which is not necessarily fearlessness, but doing the difficult thing in the face of fear. Okay, so what am I doing here? Still looking for water skins. Let me just ride down to the main area and see if there's anything along the way. Gotta gather all these groups here for story time. Alright, this is the last water skin. I also need one more horn. I missed a horn somewhere. Up here? What's over here? Okay, so that's gonna go east out of town. I'll have to go there eventually, but for now, let me continue here. Alright, so I got all the bands here. Let me blow the last horn. Okay, and now I have to spook curious orcs. Alright, however, you know what time it is. We're approaching the 30-minute mark, so we're going to call it an episode here. I hope you're having fun. I am, as always. So thanks for watching. See you next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.